Hi guys, it's me Crazy Turk. I've finally finished grinding my center stretch, and during the streams I've had a few people asking me what my build is, the stats and the badges, so I thought I'd make this video to show you my build. Now, the center stretch is honestly one of the most important players on the team. It spaces the floor so much. If you've got a player on your team that's a slasher, it'll open up the paint so much more for them. Also, if you're one of those players that is a point guard that likes to ISO, when you're playing twos or threes, the second opponent, who's generally a center or something big, will just sit in the paint because there's no 3-second calls. With this build, it makes them have to stay out on you, otherwise they're just going to get torn apart. And then it makes it a lot easier for your point guard to 1v1 ISO, blow past straight to the rack. You can see from this Beats by Dre event, the center that I was playing against just did not respect my 3-point game at all, and I ended up going 6 for 6 with the finisher coming up right here from a little bit deeper. Still cash money, but yeah, this build is OP, guys. Highly recommend it. This is the attributes, badges, build that I've got coming up now, so go. So to make the build, you're going to make it center. I go right-handed just because I'm right-handed myself, and the jersey number is 89 because I'm born in 1989. Now the graph you're going to look for is the red and green, so the shooting and defensive. They're the two primaries that you want. And for the physical profile, I had gone with the agility, just to get it up and down the court a little bit quicker, get around, make a bit more space and whatnot. But in hindsight, I probably would have gone with the strength and vertical, just to compete with playing against another center that's max height, max weight. There's a big difference in strength. It jumps from 68 up to 90. And vertical for defensive boards and whatnot would be why I would go with this graph. Now for the potential, easiest way to do it to start is max out all your shooting, max out all your playmaking, and you're going to also max out your defense. You're going to cut back on your playmaking. It's actually going to drop down on your post moves. I think 10 badges is too much. I think 9 badges is plenty, so you're going to drop the post moves down to a 67. Same thing with the post fade. 17 badges is perfect, but we're not actually going to be doing any post fade shooting, so drop that down to a 78, and that'll get you the 17 shooting badges. Now, driving layup, we're going to up that to a 50, and driving dunk will also go to a 50. Main reason for that is if you do get the opportunity for an open layup or an open dunk with a 50 as a base, it's easy money. That's really only there just for open. Contested, you're going to get rejected, you're going to get knocked. If they've got bronze intimidator, it's not going to go in. Now for the height, we're going to drop it down to 6'9". Obviously dropping it down to 6'9", the speed and acceleration jumps up as well as the vertical. Your strength drops down to an 85, but it's not too much of an issue. Having said that, I dropped it down to 198. When you go to 197, it drops down that 1 extra, so it's just not worth it. So 198 is what I would recommend for your weight and your wingspan. We're going minimum wingspan. Gets the mid-range up to an 81. 3-point shots a 78. You still got decent rebounds, blocks, steal. Interior defense is up at 71, so still really good. Your driving layup jumps up to a 75 and a driving dunk up to 56. You got choice of 4 takeovers, spot up shooter, glass cleaner, rim protector, and the playmaker. We're going to go with the spot up shooter because it just makes sense with the build that we're making. Mid-range specialist is the name of this build. So Wendell Carter Jr., Jonas Valanciunas, and Rajon Holmes are the players who this build is most similar to. Now in terms of the badges, it's pretty straightforward. Now this is obviously what it's at. If you weren't aware, this is actually what your character is going to be when you're 95, not 99. So just going back and forth, I've had a look. My current player has better stats than this, and he's only 97. He's got 2 more on every attribute. So even though it says overall testing, it's only for your 95 rating. So just keep that in mind. So finishing badges, there's really only 2 that I could recommend. Consistent finisher is obvious one. So just open layups. It just makes sense to go with the consistent finisher. The only other one I would recommend is maybe Showtime. Again, open layups, open dunks. If you can get it to be a fancy one or just an impact one, you're going to get a little more boost for your takeover. But I've had that. It's probably popped up maybe once in every 5 dunks that he's done. So probably not worth it. It was an idea I had to get a bit faster takeover. But realistically, consistent finisher is the way you want to go. We'll skip shooting and go to last. Playmaking. Bailout gold is OP. That is probably the most important badge apart from any other shooting badges that you want. There's so many times where I'm open for 3 and then someone closes me out. So instead of just taking the shot and missing, bailout, go straight to my teammate at gold. It's awesome. Break starter, so obviously getting defensive rebounds, throwing the ball long to point guard, fast break, easy assist. And last one is Lob City passer. So on the off chance that I do get the ball, the defenders close me out, Lob City passer has worked for me so many times for a mate just switching from the opposite corner to another. That's the 3 that you want. I was contemplating Unpluckable, but with this build, you're not going to be dribbling much. You're not going to be doing anything else. There's no pump fakes in the paint. You're not really going to be needle threading. There's nothing else. So they're the 3 that you want. Defensive is where it gets a little fun. So rebound chaser, obviously. Rim protector, obviously. Jason artist, obviously. Defensive leader and intimidator. They're your 5 locks. They're your 5 must-haves. Your last 3, entirely up to you. I know how to play the center role really well as a defender. In terms of rebounding, I don't really need box out. I can box out without the badge. Brick wall, it can be a viable option, setting screens and then pick and popping out. But for me personally, I prefer going gold clamps in the situations where you're with a point guard where they're doing the behind the back cheese that I absolutely hate, and then you've got to roll over to the point guard because your point guard has been locked up by the screen. That clamps on gold will stop the point guard blowing past you for the easy layup or dunk. So that's my recommendation. That's what I'm using for mine. And then for shooting, there's 2 options you need to work out for yourself. So if I'm just going to be a spot up shooter, that's my build there. So Hall of Fame catch and shoot, Hall of Fame range extender, Hall of Fame green machine with a gold quick draw and a silver deadeye. At the video at the start of this clip where I was playing the Beats by Night event, this is the badge setup that I had for that event. Now, playing 3s, this is my badge setup. Playing 5s, where the courts are a little bit more crowded, I actually choose to be a corner shooter, where I literally just sit in the corner to space out the paint for the rest of my team. And corner 3s, range extender doesn't pop. So there's no point having the range extender. Corner specialist with catch and shoot, deadeye silver. If you want, depending on how many or what your hot zone is like, you could theoretically go silver and silver. Green machine, you need to have it in your build. It's too OP. But even just having that catch and shoot corner specialist green machine, it's GG's. You won't miss. If your teammate that's your point guard has got Dimer Hall of Fame, Floor General Hall of Fame, it's lights out. You shouldn't miss a shot. The video at the start, the Beats by Night event, my point guard, he didn't even have Dimer or Floor General on either. He's trying to do dribble moves and stuff like that. So This was literally my build at the start, that video, and I went 6 for 6 from 3, wide open. There was a couple that are semi-contested, they're closing out, but it's unstoppable. It really is unstoppable. And you can see, playing threes, if you're playing with 2 shooters, and your third person, the point guard, is an ISO player, it just spaces the floor so much. It creates so much space where the point guard, can just dribble move, work out where he needs to go, and just go straight for it. But that is my build, guys. If you have any ideas or any recommendations for me with different badge setups that you would recommend, chuck them in the comments. Let me know what you would do differently. If you've got any suggestions, something that you would change in the build, let us know. Like the video, subscribe if you haven't, and we'll see you on the next live stream we're on. Take it easy. Bye.